bags too, perfect for wardrobes. Each one holds up to 5 dresses or suits. So that's 12 Space Systems bags for just $29.95. Enough for up to 12 winter coats, 24 sweaters, 6 duvets, and 12 pillows, and 15 suits or dresses. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. So call or click to order now.
With the Glasses Direct free home trial, get 4 pairs to try out at home for free.
They're great.
Test drive your new glasses today and see if you could save at Glasses Direct.
Coleman's. Easy does it.
Hello and welcome to Talk Solent, the show where we share local views on news that's cropped up in the week. I'm Shan and welcome to the first Talk Solent with me this year. Joining us in the studio is relationship expert Sophie Personne, and also joining us is Pam Bates, the PR and fundraising manager for the Countess Mountbatten Hospice Charity. Now, our first story is from earlier in the week, and in this case, this was in the Daily Star, and it's saying that record frost will be with us for a month. Now, it's quite an important story because particularly if there's anybody that you know that maybe lives on their own and actually hasn't got their heating on and that sort of thing, because there's also a warning from GPs as well about the cold weather continuing. So, ladies, I think you had a chance to actually read about the cold.
We did.
We did. I'll start with you then, Pam.
I have to say, I don't mind a cold, crisp morning, but when it's dangerous on the pavements, that's always a bit of an issue as well, and going out in the car as well. So I try and avoid.
Avoid going out, or
avoid going out until it's gone.
Yes. I mean, it's difficult with pavements, isn't it? Because it's almost like who is responsible, because some people like to do it, keep their bit of their place clear. But then there's concerns that if they do, other people come along and say, well, I'd have been fine if you hadn't done something. Sophie, what do you think on the weather?
Well, deckings are quite dangerous as well, because I fell last week just going out and looking for the cat.
No.
Oh, I properly fell, yeah. But no, going back to the pavement, in France, actually, you have to have public liability. Everybody's got to have public liability for exactly that purpose. If someone was to slip in front of your house, it's your problem, basically.
Oh, right, so that's a requirement. It's not just house insurance you have to have then as well. Wow.
Not so in Italy.
No.
I mean, people do help each other out then. If there's some old people, you'll find some of the youngsters that come and clear up in front. But you don't get much frost out there. You just get a huge dump of snow.
And I think that, in a way, is probably where the problem lies, because when it's snow, you can see it.
Yeah.
You know it's going to melt, it will become slippery. But with a lot of the frost and the ice, you don't realise till you're actually on it.
I had an accident on black ice with my car, God, a long time ago. Must have been over 30 years ago, but that's pretty frightening, because you couldn't see it.
Yes.
And I wasn't driving fast, but I hit a lamppost.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It was better than a person.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and I was 3 weeks off having my 4th child.
Oh, no.
So I was fine.
Everything was fine, but I suppose the fear at the time.
It was horrible. It's a horrible thing being out of control, completely out of control.
Yeah, I've had an accident on, I think it was snowy conditions, when I was in my 20s. Again, it wasn't going fast, same thing as you, but the car literally just span. And I was so lucky, there was nothing coming, nothing in the way. I didn't hit anything. I just ended up spinning, and then it just stopped. And I was just thinking, right, okay, let's carry on then.
I had a similar, there was no one else involved, but I literally, as you say, I just went, there's no control, you just don't know where you're going, where you're going to end up. It's just luck sometimes, isn't it? Yeah,
and I've had another accident actually, which was awful, where I was driving home late from Kent. I was driving to Sussex, and I think I must have nodded off and I think I must have just literally fallen asleep, I guess, because suddenly the car was on the hard shoulder, and you know there's like bumpy bits as you go across, and I think I realised I was on the bumpy bit, but it was too late, and I hit a fence on the side, and then the car just span, and I ended up with across the fast lane. Luckily, it was like 2 in the morning, but with the wheels stuck in the central reservation, and I could see lights in the distance, and I was thinking, if they're in the wrong lane, because they thought they had the whole road, they're going to just smash into the car because they won't see it because it was side on. So it was the most frightening thing where I was trying to get the car to push the car back into the... Oh, it's horrible.
Have you been on a skid pan, though? That's quite good fun because you're with someone and you're all strapped in and controlled, and they teach you how to correct the spins.
Do they? Well, I was told not to correct them, but just to let go of the wheel.
I think steer into it.
Because I think you want to pull one way or the other, and all you're doing is just...
confuse the car.
Yeah, but I don't actually know, so it would be good to...
You drive into it rather than try and go away from it.
When I was learning to drive, actually, was in January, and it had taken me on purpose.
This year?
No, years ago.
Oh.
Literally. And he had taken me on an old country road full of snow, full of ice, for that purpose, saying, you know, I'm teaching you now, I might as well show you, so it just did.
That is really useful, isn't it? Because there's certain things that when I took my test that you didn't know how to do as such until you're then doing them.
That's true.
And I know down one of the roads that we used to drive regularly, my dad had said to me, the car will often skid on wherever it is. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Just kind of relax and just let the car go forward. Yeah. It's like, okay. But it wasn't speed or anything.
But of course there's anti-skid brakes now and things, so it is 10 times better because that does it for you.
This is on the modern cars though.
Yeah.
So if you've got an old car like me, perhaps an advanced driving course would be useful.
Yeah, I think you'd like it anyway. It's good.
Back in the day where I had a normal job, shall we call it, they put us on a defensive driving course, and 75% of us had an accident within 3 weeks of having attended that.
Really?
Yes. I don't know why, if it was bad luck or... 75% of us.
Well, do you think that was anything to do with the driving, or it just so happened?
In my particular case, it was a roundabout, and I was in second gear, and I was braking because I could see the traffic was going down, and I had a lorry in front of me. I was still thinking that with a traction, there might have been, okay, I might have been too close, but literally I went to the back of him and I just disintegrated. But I was hardly doing 15 miles an hour. In my case, it was tiredness. I had actually voiced I was tired at the time, and
so at least you know what it was. Yeah. But there's nothing where, and again, years ago, don't get in a car with me. Years ago, there was roadworks going down to one lane on a dual carriageway, of which there was no spare. You know, some places there's dual carriages and there are places to go. There was nothing. There were walls either side. And I could see behind me, and the traffic was stopping, so I was slowing down. I could see behind me, the car coming behind me was coming too fast. And I thought, they're never going to stop, they're never going to stop. And then, you know, you end up with your foot on the brake, thinking, like, it's obviously not your brake, because you need to be on their brake. And this woman just slammed into the back of me. It's horrendous, and we had like a 5-car shunt. And I tried to live, it's that balance between leaving a bit of gap in front so you don't hit the one in front, but not being too far back that the one behind you actually hits you anyway. So, yeah, that was horrible. But it was a long time ago. So back to cold weather, I'm going to tell you about some, I have to try and have it a little distance these days, but what has been recommended by GPs, because they are warning for the seriousness of the cold weather. It is so important that people stay warm, especially older people and young children or people with any long-term health. And so they are saying keep homes heated to at least 18 degrees if you can. Obviously that's difficult if money is a worry for heating, but wearing lots of thin layers instead of thick ones, and that will keep you, and try to keep as active as possible. So and it's hard if you're sitting in a chair as well, isn't it? But there are things people can do. They can move bits and pieces. Are you aware of anyone that may have problems with the cold, I guess?
Not really, not close to me now anyway. So we've got some elderly neighbours, but they don't really come out unless they go out in the car. So
yeah, so I guess it's just for us to be a bit more aware. It's not just us, is it? Yeah. So there's been a warning issued. This was in the Portsmouth News, a tiny little bit of paper, because I know you like it and you won't be able to see it any more than I can. But anyway, this is a warning about burning lanterns, because it's going to be Chinese New Year later on in the year. And the lanterns are really dangerous when they land. They're still burning, perhaps. Now, you've had some experience of this, Pam?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I should tell the story, really. It was, we were celebrating, because, I'd lost my husband, and it was like a 1-year anniversary. And we decided that we'd have a party, a celebratory party, and somebody bought the lanterns. So we've got trees in the garden and decking, so I decided that wasn't really a safe place to do. So I said, let's go out in the road, out the front. So they lit the first one. Everyone was being really careful, and, you know, no one was drunk. It wasn't anything like that. But to get them to lift off is not as easy as you think. So they were helping them to lift off. And one started to go up and up, and I was like, and everyone's going, oh, look, that's great. And as it got so far, my daughter's boyfriend's dad's brand new car was just outside our house, and it was heading for it, and she ran like a racehorse and leapt in the air and caught it. Oh, wow. And then she pushed it off again, and it went, and it started to go, and then it started to go into next door's fence. Oh, no. So she jumped over the fence and got it again. I mean, I was, by this time, I said, I think we ought to stop
the lanterns.
Yes. So,
well, good for her. She's pretty athletic.
Oh my God, it was one of those really. She went, oh, Matt's dad's car.
Oh, no. And then raced off to try and save it, and then save the neighbour's fence.
But imagine if the fence had been higher.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. That would have been it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So they basically
they are dangerous and very unstable.
And the problem as well is the police are saying that sometimes those can be mistaken as distress flares. So they know that the increase in sales of Chinese lanterns up to the Chinese New Year, to January 28th, is significant. So
but they can go for miles as well. That's the other trouble. You know, when like where Eastleigh, you're near the airport, then that's another hazard.
Yes, you forget actually things like that, don't you?
Or just fall on cows or horses or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's. I mean, the trouble. It's so hard, isn't it? Because they look so beautiful.
Oh, they're stunning.
And when you've seen them floating on lakes or wherever they go, but of course at some point they are then burning out, and then they are not. If they're not biodegradable.
No, because they've all got bits of metal in them.
Yes, which is then going to endanger wildlife and so on. Right, we are going to talk about. Find it now. Oh yes. Now then, over the Christmas and New Year, actually very briefly, we will move, because it has been Christmas and New Year, to resolutions. Now, do you do New Year resolutions?
Not really. Only to live life to the full. That's about as good as mine gets.
And Sophie, do you?
I don't either. No, just to be happy, do everything that life's too short, really.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think I did resolutions when I was in my 20s, and then I have never done them since. And I think if you want to do something different or make a change or, as it were, be better, then just wake up that day and go, okay, today's the day. I don't feel like the new year needs to be the thing to do.
It's not going to be long term. You could just say, right, from the 1st of January, I'm not doing this anymore. It has to be, whether it's diet, smoking or whatever. It has to be something that's a constant effort, not just it's that day, it's going to happen. It's not. You're more likely to have success if you actually plan it properly.
Yeah.
Although I think, because there are, interestingly, in our little gang, that Solent gang, I can't say for certain, but I think at least one of our members, maybe two of our gang, have got resolutions where they're going to get fitter. So I am going to watch. I think they will do it, because at least one of them is a person who will definitely do what they say they do, and the other person I'm sure will do it because so many people will be watching them anyway.
Yeah,
even if they don't
fun.
have the
it's
motivation.
Quite fun, isn't it? I mean, I'd just like to be kind. I'd like people to be kinder to each other, but that's for all year round. It's not just for January.
Yeah.
I think one of the issues is that too many people actually set too many resolutions.
Yeah.
So you can't get fitter, you can't give up smoking, you can't sort your life out and big massive changes. No, like you can't look for a new job, find a man, or do you know what I mean? It's all massive changes that are going to impact your life. You can't do everything at once.
But if you wake up one morning you want to do something, just do it. Don't wait.
Yeah, indeed, don't wait. And if you want to listen to those stories that we should be talking about, then do email us on talk@solent.com or send us a tweet. You can do that using the hashtag #TalkSolent.
Coleman's. Easy does it.
With the Glasses Direct free home trial, get 4 pairs to try out at home for free.
They're great.
Test drive your new glasses today and see if you could save at Glasses Direct.
Introducing new Surf with fragrance release. surf with fragrance release. For burst after burst of uplifting fragrance.
Every now and then it's important to give oneself a good old clear out, whatever that means. What? Uh-oh. No! I'll just keep it tea. A tasty cup of green tea. Delicious. Mmm.
Welcome back to Talk Solent, the chat show where we share our local views of news catching our eye. Joining me today from Portsmouth, it's Sophie Personne, and from Chandlersford, it's Pam Bates. So we are going to be talking about dementia and Alzheimer's, and keeping fit, and also the news that was on earlier in the week where it was suggested that Alzheimer's had a link with people that might live on busy roads. Pam, you heard a bit of that story.
It was on this morning as well, a bit, and on the radio. It's just saying they'd done a study and they were measuring people that live on a main road and then one road back and one road back. But I didn't know you were going to talk about it today, otherwise I'd have read more.
Well, I think it's an interesting thing, and I don't think, from the thing that I heard, they didn't have a specific link. It was just something they discovered, that they didn't know whether there was any causal effect to that, or it just happened to be the case.
And they were saying about cyclists now having masks because of emissions, so whether that will help as well.
But certainly from research that had gone on, they believe that dementia can be determined in advance, and one of the things had been to do with if you lose your sense of direction early on, that it seems to be an indicator that several years later you might have dementia. And they also think that if people keep fit, there is less chance of them getting it because their body's healthy and their mind's healthy and everything. So I don't know if you've whether you keep fit, Sophie, or know anything about keep fit.
I used to. I don't have so much time nowadays, but yeah, I do like to go for a walk, because it clears the mind. That's when you can get a bit creative and get ideas. But yeah, so in essence, I do keep fit, but not as hardcore as I used to be, going to the gym 5 times a week.
But they are saying you don't have to be doing anything amazing, so getting up and going out for a walk is enough, just doing something like that. And you...
I like a walk on the beach, but I used to play hockey for Sussex a very, very long time ago. And then our boys all played football, so I became a football referee as well. So I used to do quite a lot, but I damaged my Achilles, so the running's kind of out now. So I like a walk on the beach. That's about it.
I do.
I think one of the interesting is moving away from the dementia, but just for people who have a long life. I've been talking to quite a few people recently, and always I say, "Oh, what do you think has kept you alive so long?" type thing. Do you mind? I've got plenty of years still to go. But a lot of them in common have the fact that they did a lot of keep fit when they were younger. So I don't know whether it kind of stays with you as you grow older.
I think it's a mindset as well. I mean, my great-grandmother died when she was 101, but she lived on her own until she was 99. And she lost an eye in the war, all sorts of things. She couldn't really hear, but she was like, no, I am doing it. And it was more of a mindset
I think
and the
you're
strength of character.
Well,
To keep going herself independently.
Just lost my husband's dad last year, and he was 96. And until like 2 years ago, he'd never taken any medication in his life.
Wow.
I mean, amazing. And just lost his mum at 81. No, 91. So 91.
Yeah.
So,
which is impressive, isn't it? So when you see people that just do so much.
They're just very hardy.
Keep going.
Much hardier, I think, than...
Yes, and mentally very robust as well.
Yeah.
I find, I've seen around me, when people start to be a bit careful, oh, I'm the age that I am, I must take it easy, that's when normally they age quicker.
Right.
It's when they actually, age is only a number, I don't care, I'm going to carry on until my body says no.
Yes.
That actually they last a lot longer. In essence.
Yeah, I do have challenges. You got to get off the sofa, and it's like, oh, that's creaking today. But I'm.
Yeah, but there you are in your leathers.
Yeah, I'm not giving up yet. I'm not giving up anytime soon. I'm going to be buried in this.
I hope you're not. And well, look at those boots. They're awesome. I'm liking those. We're doing okay with snazzy boots today, aren't we? But I hope they're not too tight, because I recently read an article, a horrific article. I had no idea on this, but anyway, a lady was wearing very fashionable, tight, skinny jeans, and she did some kneeling down or something, and then she thought, oh, that's, you know, hurts a bit much. Didn't realise that her jeans were in fact too tight, and she had stopped her circulation, and it was a serious thing where she got taken to the doctors when they realised, you know, she realised her leg was hurting, and her mum helped her take the trousers off and everything, and the leg literally swelled up. Doctors said if you hadn't come here in time, we might have had to amputate.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so just make sure.
No, they're not tight.
They're not as tight as you might have done when you were younger, because actually don't do that.
Getting in the bath and shrinking your Levi's.
Yes, or getting a friend to... Well, a friend used to get a coat hanger to try and pull her zip up, to try and get herself... And when you just think, why would you?
You wouldn't be comfortable.
No, but look at the days of corsets and boning and stuff, and they were all, you know, and they could hardly breathe, and they would swoon, wouldn't they?
Yes.
So, you know, it's nothing new, is it?
No, but I think what is new for me, and bearing in mind, I can't believe I'm, you know, the old age I am, is that I didn't realise how dangerous some of that was. You just think, oh, they're a bit tight, how silly, you can't sit down. But actually, how tight, you're cutting off circulation. Ooh, right, we are now going to talk to other exciting things which may have been going on at Christmas. And these are the list of top 10 causes of bad moods. Now, this was in the Portsmouth News, and I shall read them out to you. First one is lack of sleep. Second is technology, so that must be people, I don't know why they're getting cross with technology. 3, family rows, bad manners, rude staff, work stress, lack of cash, rain.
Rain. I like the rain.
You're all right with the rain. Cold calls and traffic.
Cold calls are a bit annoying, but I'm usually amusingly rude to them.
Are you?
Yes.
so yes, that's right.
But I don't get nasty or anything like that, or moody. If I've just got in and sat down and someone wants some money from a charity that I work for, you know, I work for a charity, I don't think people should be badgered in their own homes. I'm sorry.
No.
Especially the calls to older people. There's been a lot written, hasn't there, about charities, you know, that put some work out to people.
But do you think rudeness is acceptable in certain circumstances?
No.
Right.
Not really.
No. So do you feel bad now being rude?
No, I'm amusingly rude. You know, as in, it's not like angry rude.
You're not horrible,
No.
So the poor person just thinks, I'm only doing this because I need to pay my bills.
Yeah,
I get that, it's not their fault, but at the same time, it's sometimes the way they go about it. You know, the tone of voice. I mean, I had one that rang and he was all very cheerful and joyful and all the rest of it. Wait, you don't know what mood I'm in. You know, I could have lost mum and dad before he knows. I don't need someone being
That's the trouble, isn't it?
And sometimes they've got to respect, they're disturbing someone at home, so at least be present, polite, but not over the top.
But I think it's the intimidation of older people that's what I
No. And I think you're right as well. You haven't invited a call to your house. So cold calling is just wrong. And then the other thing that I think they've stopped it though after that case last year, but where you see adverts saying text this amount for whatever cause it was, and you think, oh yeah, that's really good, and you might do that. Then you'd be followed up with a call saying, would you want to do a regular donation? You just think, well, no, because if I'd wanted to, I would have
done that in the first place.
Done that, and also, and then you kind of thinking you're feeling really bad because you can't manage to do a bit more. It's that balance, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to go to you, Sophie, because you're a relationship expert. So tell us your field of expertise.
Well, relationships in general. So it can be single people struggling to meet the right person because they're attracting a certain type. Nutters, for instance, or, you know.
Why are you
Talked about that earlier.
You're not, I was going to say, you're not out on the
about me.
field, are you?
No.
Normal relationship issues as you see them with your husband, your partner, but also with your kids, your parents, you know, and sometimes at work. But one of the things that I'm finding more and more is people sometimes have a relationship issue with themselves. They don't actually feel satisfied, or they're too hard on themselves, which can lead to anxiety, depression and things like that over time. And it's something that's actually growing, maybe mainly because of Facebook, if I dare say it, because sometimes you can see life of other people and you don't know what goes on behind closed door, but you will subconsciously compare yourself to them.
Oh, so you're saying, so where on social media people are showing these wonderful photos where they're out for dinner with friends or the family and the cute dog and the baby or whatever it is, and actually that other person's thinking, oh, well, my life doesn't seem as good as that.
That's right. And that leads to a lot of, to start off with, often unconscious, but questioning of self, which can then translate to become stress, anxiety. I've even seen nervous breakdowns that have, come from.
That's
things.
terrible.
Yeah.
So what can people do to try and, keep themselves?
I think to start off with is acknowledging and trying to find the deep root cause, because it doesn't just happen. You don't just go through Facebook and think, my life is not as good as someone else. You've got to establish, okay, if there's a problem in your life, what is it, and what can you do about it? Because, as we discussed earlier as well, it's about taking action. You can't, if you're not happy in your job, don't stay in your job just to go on 2 holidays a year. Actually, don't whinge, don't be grumpy, find another one. I know it's not always easy, but if you can't find another job, find a hobby, find something that is going to give you something to look forward to in life, as opposed to just concentrating on all the negative.
Do you think as well, in fact, exactly like you're saying, instead of concentrating on it, like say you have no choice with that job, that is the job you've got, there is nothing that can be done, but move, like you said, to move towards your thoughts, so you no longer think about that, because it's taking up all your time and energy with wasted thoughts on something you cannot change, and then move them to the nicer thoughts, constantly try and change them. Do you think that people can do that?
Yeah, it's an easy thing, but you have to catch yourself having that negative thought in the first place, because if you're used to that, you are literally in a pattern and a vicious circle. Once you're aware, do I do that, and start thinking in that way, then you can break the circle.
See, I believe that nobody can make you feel bad. It's about you should be in control of you and think, actually, I'm going to have a really good day today. I'm not going to have any of this.
At the same time,
I'm the one that's letting myself.
Grumpy, you've got to go down to the bottom of the grumpiness and find out why, because trying to cover it with smiles that are not real is not healthy either.
Exactly. If you feel that way, then you have to acknowledge how you feel.
For the day, okay, I'm grumpy today. I'm tired, there must be a reason. Just be grumpy for the day, but don't do it every day.
No, and I don't actually like people that force their grumpiness on you, actually, because I'm a generally very happy person.
I heard something really good recently, and I'm hoping I can remember. This is a non-invasion space, so don't invade my space. If you've got a problem, keep it out. It was along those lines. I can't think of the actual words, and it was Jan Groover, who's a coach in the States, who's like she coaches entrepreneurs and things, but this is a no drama space. That's what it was.
No drama.
This is a no drama space.
I type people for anyone to have whatever mood they are in, but they don't need to infect me with it to try and bring me down too. That's fine. If, you be grumpy, let me be happy, or whoever, or vice versa. We are going to come back and talk a bit more about that in a moment, and of course you can contact us if you want to.
Apparently, BT Mobile gets you online with 4G and Wi-Fi in more places than any other mobile provider. These guys think it's as good as my dramatic delivery. I'll be the judge of that. I'm watching the game because this bus is late. I'm on Google Maps because I'm lost. Estoy imparando italiano.
Non capisco.
I'm making friends on Facebook. Turns out that BT Mobile 4G and Wi-Fi is as good as Alec Baldwin's dramatic delivery.
Thanks, Alec.
I'm keeping the phone.
If you've got BT broadband at home, you get a £120 discount on all smartphone plans from BT Mobile, including the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge.
Coleman's. Easy does it.
With the Glasses Direct free home trial, get 4 pairs to try out at home for free.
They're great.
Test drive your new glasses today and see if you could save at Glasses Direct.
Welcome back to Talk Solent. Joining us today from the world of relationships, it's Sophie Personne, and from the world of PR and fundraising, it's Pam Bates. Now, we were talking about moods and good moods and bad moods and how other people can also affect your mood. But for yourself, do you generally get up and be in any particular mood?
I had a nervous breakdown 2 years ago. So I had to find a way myself to get over that, which was difficult. Every now and again, I still go a bit down. And it's literally like, no, you've got nothing to be sad about or down about. Keep going. So it happens to everybody to sometimes struggle, and you've got to acknowledge that. At the same time, we have to be grateful for what we've got.
Absolutely.
It's not that there's always someone worse off than us, because yes, there is, but we have to appreciate what we have in life, and a lot of us sometimes forget.
Yes. It's tricky, because you were saying about controlling your thoughts as well, because that's obviously a key thing. And my mum was strongly of the belief where whatever you're sad about, or they've upset me, it's like, how did they upset you? Maybe they upset you initially, but now you're dragging out the upset by letting it linger on. And it's, again, that thing where are you sitting? Are you sitting in a cell? Are you sitting on the beach, in a garden, on a chair? Where does your head want you to be sitting?
The thing is, do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? You know, does it really matter to be so right that it's going to affect your mood and yourself?
I'm not very competitive at all. I don't really care. I like joining in a game, but I don't care if I win or lose, and that really is the key to happiness, especially when you've got a lot of children. But I think that you do make your own thoughts, and I try and wake up and think of I've always got at least 5 or 10 things that I can be happy and grateful for. And I think if everybody did that, instead of focusing on the negative, you get a much nicer way of living.
Yes, but sometimes, like you said, sometimes you still do need that. If you are very sad for a period of time, you need to have that. But I think for me anyway, I have to not control it, but I think, right, I'm going to allow myself to accept that this is a sad time or whatever it is, but then there's a limit, because I think you can then become wallowing in your pity or distress or whatever it is.
But even if there's sadness, there's still joy in what's been before. And for me, memories are obviously very, very important. And I remember lots of things, lots of strange things, and when you remember laughing over something and funny things. And we still talk about Dave quite a lot. And I mean, I've got a friend who's really, really poorly at the moment, and she's a few days younger than me or older than me, I can't remember which, but you know, I've been very sad over that, but you know what, I've spent some really good quality time with her.
Which is, I think, like you say, the key is to have that time as well, especially when you're talking about relationships, if there are partners and you have got some time to enjoy your time together, because I think there's been some adverts on television where a person, a child, and they're trying to demonstrate those people are really poor, and they're cold, but they're in duvets. They've got duvets. So I know, certainly in a house where I grew up, if you had been in your duvets, you would then go, hey, it's a duvet day, and the fact that there wasn't any heating on, you would not focus on it at all. It wouldn't even be mentioned. You would be doing stuff.
Something fun and
you'd be doing jumping jacks. You'd be doing what you could, and then it would be a day of fun rather than let's sit here and all feel terrible about it. It's hard, isn't it? So back to the relationships then. You have written a book called Your Other Half.
Indeed.
And when is this going to be out, the guide to better relationships with others and yourself?
Next week.
Oh,
really?
Next week, yes. It's already available on Kindle, but the actual paperback should be with me by next week.
And what did you write? You know, is there something in there that you can share with us about what's in it, and why did you write it?
Why did I write it? Because the time was right. Going back to, you said, nervous breakdown, I coached myself back to health without medication. I was quite adamant I didn't want any of that. And I felt that I had more to give to more people, shall we say, and a book is the way to do that, because you can't touch so many people's lives otherwise. And I just wanted to show people how, whether they're single or in a relationship where they're not necessarily happy, why that is and what they can do to start the journey of actually sorting it out.
And are there like tips to help, or is it how for them to question themselves? How does it help?
There are tips, you know, on how to do this, obviously, but I take them on the journey of them identifying where they're at. They've even got exercises to download and all sorts of things.
Really?
Yes.
Brilliant. So it's like an interactive online as well.
Yeah, they go to the website and just download the exercises, and it's just to, you know, put a line in the sand, I suppose, so that they can then go back to it and see how much improvement they've had.
Well, you mentioned a website, but what is the website?
Oh, it's just SophiePersone.com.
Just your name?
Yeah.
Sophie Personne.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. That's exciting.
Well done.
Yes. And you mentioned that you had a breakdown, but how did you know you'd actually had a breakdown?
I didn't, to start off with. It was, I'm not laughing about it, but it was a bit weird. it's been a lifetime of like drop little things, and then the last massive drop happened. And interestingly, I knew this was something that wasn't quite right and I should react really, really badly, but I didn't. I was totally numb to it. I was just like, this is like, I'm not understanding. I should be like devastated, and I'm not. I'm absolutely fine. And within a half an hour, I started feeling a bit sick. And then for 3 weeks, I couldn't stop throwing up and crying randomly. I couldn't leave the house, really, because I was an absolute wreck. And I didn't realise it was nervous breakdown. I just felt numb. And I just spent some time, quite frankly, staring at the wall. I had the TV on. I was trying to interact with people, but my brain, I shut down.
You couldn't do anything?
Yeah.
Wow. And then you managed to gradually get yourself back. Well, which is amazing.
Yeah. But it is mind over matter. I knew there was something bad. What was I going to do and how was I going to do, you know, getting better? So I had to get to the bottom. Where did it come from?
It's reprogramming, isn't it?
Yes, totally.
That's what it is.
And how could I have handled it differently when I was 7 or whatever, and I didn't know that something had happened? Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So it was literally a work on myself, trying to find the deep root causes of it, and how now I could change it for the better so that it doesn't happen again.
Mm.
I wouldn't go back for in a hurry, but it has changed me for a better person, so...
Yes, yes, and that's the tricky thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you have to accept who you've become now because of what has happened, but you wouldn't necessarily wish to do that again. No, indeed. Now, very excitingly, if people are unhappy, then you have a charity family fun day.
I've got a happy day, yes.
A happy day.
It's,
when is it and what is it?
It's at Chilworth Manor in Southampton, just outside Southampton, near Romsey. And it's on Sunday the 19th of March from 9 o'clock registration to about 3:30, and it's going to be a whole families can take part in this all day. Some can do some activities, some won't be able to do, so we're going to have like a dad sumo wrestling thing, you know, in the big sumo suits. But we've also got it's a cross between It's a Knockout and the Crystal Maze, so there's some nice team building puzzles and things like that. So you can see there's more online, and oxygen free jumping, they're there with some snow globes.
The trampoline people from Southampton,
so they're supporting us. There's lots and lots of corporates supporting us, and we've got a drone photographer going, that'll be going around while it's going.
Wow.
We may have some other exciting things that can't be announced yet, so watch this space.
Very exciting.
But there's lots of different challenges.
I see you've mentioned the Hungry Games. What's that?
Well, you'll have to come and see it.
Come and see what it is. I hope it's not people trying to eat far too much at one go.
No, it's nothing like that.
Because I don't like those games. I think they're bad.
It's nothing like that. It's a flick on the Hunger Games.
Yes.
So there might be some of this.
Ah.
No, it'll be lots of fun. And Chilworth Manor are doing all sorts of things, and we'll get donations from whatever food, and they're going to do afternoon teas and Sunday lunches and bacon baps, and
wow,
it's
a beautiful venue.
Oh gosh, yes.
So will there be access to the manor, or is it just in the grounds?
No, we're going to do some indoors. Some of the challenges, like the Crystal Maze type challenges, so some are mind over matter. And then breaking news is Chris Reese, who does the marathon and Try. He is organising a little fun run as well as his part of it. So there's lots of people joining together to make this an incredible event.
But what do people need to register online? Can they just turn up on the day? How does it work?
They need to register online because there will be a cap to it. It's on our website, www.cmhcharity.org.uk. /. I was thinking the last bit, /events.
.org.uk.
Yeah, forthcoming events. It's all on our website. It's £25 for a ticket for a family, 2 + 2, and it's £10 an adult or £5 a child. So, you know, you can work.
So it makes it, so in terms of because obviously it is money, but it's an affordable money. And does all the money go to the charity?
Yes. Which is fantastic. Because everyone that's doing something for us is donating their goods and activities free.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind me asking again, what that money that goes to the charity, what is it used for?
Okay, we fund all the over and above things because Countess Mountbatten is an NHS hospice with all the very best in medical care and part of Southampton University Hospitals Trust. So we supply things like pain-relieving mattresses that are £4,000 a go, tea, coffee, biscuits, chocolate, which we hope people will put money in the honesty box, but it's a service as well. Flowers, newspapers. I sometimes get to organise something special that someone's always wanted to do, and I organised a helicopter flight a little while ago for a young couple, which was just, you know, the most amazing thing to have been able to do. And it's not always about money.
No, but it's also the simple things, like, for example, when if people are in a hospice and then the tea trolley comes around, and it's not just for the person that's in the bed, the people that are there.
Oh, we have a booze trolley too that we fund, that goes around twice a day.
Which is wonderful, something to look forward to. But the people that are there, if they're there to see their loved one who's in the hospice, they may not have their purses on them. At the time, they haven't got any cash available, and it's a nice, you know, especially because I know it wasn't in your hospice, but I certainly know when my mum was in a hospice, she. Before she became too ill to be able to use it, the drinks trolley, they had Baileys.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was in Cantus Mountbatten, and second time I went to see him, which was in the afternoon, and he had a GNT, and I was just thought, do you know, it's really nice.
It's a bit of dignity, isn't it?
It's a nice little things that you might have done together before. Coming up, we'll be sharing more local views on news catching RI, and if you have news that we should be talking about, then do contact us on our email, which is talk@solent.com, or tweet us at @SolentTV.
At Knorr, we believe you should always be able to cook with real natural ingredients. That's why we've created our new Knorr Naturally Tasty recipe mixers, full of delicious natural ingredients, naturally dried for a rich flavour. New Knorr Naturally Tasty, flavour that feels good.
The iPulse Smooth Skin Gold is the fastest and most effective route to permanent hair reduction. Intelligently delivering intense pulse light that halts hair growth at the root permanently, with a Smooth Skin Gold, it's never been quicker, easier or safer to get salon quality silky smooth skin at home. The Smooth Skin Gold features intelligent detect and set technology sensors which detect your skin type, automatically delivering the right level of treatment wherever you need it, on your body or face. The iPulse Smooth Skin Gold has 2 flash modes. For stamp mode, just press and flash, then move the handset to the next area to be treated and repeat. Glide mode is a continual flash mode. All you need to do is stroke the handset across the treatment area. Legs, arms, underarms, bikini line, cheek and jawline. Experience the freedom of silky smooth skin with the iPulse Smooth Skin Gold. Available at smoothskin.co.uk and in selected boot stores.
Now I get this mega-mungus bill for home insurance, and I think
That fantastic website!
would save you money on other home stuff like broadband or vet bills.
Insure your Shih Tzu! Fantastic!
Go compare! You're quite right, there's nothing quite like Go Compare. Yeah! When you want to save, it should be your favorite. GoCompare.com is right up there.
This incredible beauty product appears to temporarily reverse time and leave you looking years younger in under a minute. Look at the dramatic results women like you are experiencing every day. See how Ava's eye bags were transformed in under a minute, and Diana's wrinkles disappeared before her eyes. What is the secret to these wonderful results? Revealing Rock's Flawless Eyes, the beauty gel that gets to work in under 60 seconds and lasts for up to 10 hours, day or night. Look, apply just a tiny amount of Rock's and see the dramatic change to your eyes less than a minute later.
Well, it really, really works. I mean, I can't believe it.
It's unbelievable. Would you imagine that there be any product that would make such a big difference as that?
I'm amazed. I've been looking for something like that for 30 years.
The Rock's Flawless Eyes formula has been developed to give you the power of multiple products in one, and has been independently proven to temporarily reduce 3 of the main visible signs of facial aging: fine lines, puffy eyes, and wrinkles. Rux normally retails for $59.95 via our web stores. But we want to make this incredible beauty product accessible to everyone. So call or click to order and you'll receive your first bottle of Rux half price. That's just $29.95. Once you've tried it, we know you'll always want to look your best. So ask our operators about special multi-buy discounts with additional savings of up to 75%. Join the Rux revolution, and you could look years younger too. Give Rux a try for flawless eyes now.
Hello, you're watching Talk Solent, and on the sofa today are Sophie, Personne and Pam Bates. Now, did talk about it briefly earlier, but it was the Keep Fit to Beat Dementia. This was in the Daily Express earlier on in the week, and I know that for some people that may be unable to get up, they're sitting on chairs and they're going to need some Keep Fit. So,
I've just kept fit, sorry.
We are going to do some now. I think we need to do some, right? So just, can you try this at home? This is Keep Fit that you can do if you are unable to.
This one?
Fair enough.
Yes.
You can do it with baked beans, can't you?
Yeah.
Yes, but you still have to be given them or get them, don't you? But there are things, I think it's easy to think you can't do anything, and there are some people who can't do anything. But if you can, then make it happen. Obviously, this is in the way, but you could lift your leg up and do a little leg raise.
Yeah, probably could.
Do you know, someone said to me for leg exercises, you know the oven gloves, the double ones?
Yes.
If you put one of those with 2 tins of baked beans in both pockets and then lift your leg, because when you're adding a little bit of weight to it.
That's a really good idea.
Grandchildren are perfect for that.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, I used to, with my nephews, if you have them on the end of your feet and then lift them up, that really does do the we're thinking of easy things for people who can't do anything.
Baggy jumpers are much better.
Yes, and of course you had an interesting idea about what one could do to keep fit.
Well, there's something simple that doesn't cost you any money, you don't have to leave the house, and it's called getting intimate.
Well, I have to say that there was a weight loss company about 10 years ago, I think, that one of my friends was going to, and she said, do you want to come along? And so I thought, oh, well, I'd probably need to. Yes, I'll come along. And then they gave this booklet. On week 2, it suggested that sex was what you should do for exercise. I was so angry, because I thought, well, that's all very well if you've got someone to do it with, but if you haven't, what are you supposed to do? I didn't go back. It just annoyed me. I just thought, oh. You'd have been all right, though, wouldn't you, Pam?
Maybe.
Maybe it's what they say. Those people talk about it, don't do it.
That's it, isn't it?
So, Mayflower Theatre. Now, you're quite closely linked with the Mayflower Theatre.
Yeah.
This is brilliant news. There's a British Empire Medal for a lady called Isabel Gatwood. We haven't got her picture, I'm afraid, to show you, but that's for her services to the charitable sector, so that's amazing.
That's incredible. I love to see people valued for work that they've done, because there are so many people that do so many amazing things that we never get to hear about, and that's fantastic. I bet Michael Ockwell will be really chuffed with that.
Yeah, it's nice for them to have some recognition for when you work so tirelessly on behalf of others. And this is also news from the Mayflower Theatre. Already it's going to be next year's Panto is going to be Snow White, and this is Craig Revel Horwood.
I thought it was.
Yes, it's hard to see initially who it is, and then when you realise it's him, you think, oh yeah, you can tell from the eyes, can't you? But he is going to be the wicked stepmother.
Good, I'd go and throw oranges in.
Yes, I'm sure people will be hissing and booing. So, Sophie, have you been to Pantos?
I was just thinking, I've never been, no.
You have to go to a Panto, they're amazing.
Yes, because your background is you originally grew up in France.
That's right, yeah. And no, I've never been.
Let's put it on your list.
Yeah,
well, yes, but it is I wouldn't say an acquired taste, but I think I went to Pantos every year as a child, and they're very, well, theatrical is the only word, because they're very over the top. And there's something fun about them, and usually have a pantomime dame. In this case, this is the Wicked Queen, so it's not quite the same as the dame, where it's usually played by a man. But I hope he is able to do...
The principal character, man, is usually a woman as well, so you've got the principal boy as well.
Which is hilarious.
So,
and then you see the women as men and men as women, but...
No, it's something I do want to do, it's just... I haven't...
Making it happen.
Yeah,
but even the amateur dramatics ones are really good.
Yes. Oh,
well, they're better, actually, because they're usually like local
people.
Yes.
Yeah, but local news and stuff in it that they'd put in it. They make it quite personal, don't they?
Yes. And then there's sometimes they're written with a bit tongue-in-cheek that if the children would go over their heads, but it's quite funny for adults.
Yeah.
I have seen one. I've seen a couple actually, which is in the Sussex area where they have been too borderline, too much. Yeah,
the Concord Club used to do it.
Too crude. I don't like that. And it needs to be funny and clever, and there's that fine balance.
The Concord Club used to do a really good one, but with a lot of their members or staff and things. I don't know if they're still doing it, but I went years ago, and that was all local. So there were jokes about Portsmouth and Southampton football teams and all that.
So people knew. Oh, it's fabulous. Fabulous. Right, now this picture of me with a little lemur. You may not be able to see it, but it was hilarious. So in this enclosure for lemurs, because they're doing an annual count of all the species and all the animals at Marwell Zoo.
Oh, I heard that this morning, yeah.
Yes, so that was great. So I was trying to film this registrar, the animal registrar, and these lemurs kept wanting to look at the camera. So they came around, they were chewing their leg, and then they were on top of it.
Nice.
They were lovely. And it was, when you just think that's amazing. I hadn't been there before, but it's absolutely huge.
Oh, it's funny enough, I went this summer. I took my parents.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was too hot. Don't go in August because all the animals are asleep.
Yeah.
It sounds silly, but
yes, you're there to see them, aren't you?
Yeah.
You don't want them to be feeding time or just they're quietly in the shade somewhere you can't see them. Well, I can tell you that nice, crisp winter day.
They're all out.
My daughter's got a pass with two other of her mummy friends, and they go with the children most weeks. But, it's lovely.
It is nice. There were a lot. Well, they were all, because it was children back at school, they were all under the school age, but there were loads of people, loads of parents, families with their pushers taking the children around as something to do. It's a good bit of exercise for the parents and so forth. Obviously, you need to be able to afford to be able to get in, but it's a great...
But the annual pass is pretty good.
Yes, well, I think it's not a lot for the whole year if you use it regularly and you're able to get there. It's probably no good for people at public transport, but certainly for everyone else. It was fabulous, and it's had a nice atmosphere, which was just not that I've been. Well, I have been to quite a few zoos in my time because I quite like a zoo.
I do too.
But the thing as well, you were inside the enclosure, weren't you? So that's very different than just looking at the animals.
Oh yes, but you say that. That's very, very true. But these guys were hilarious. So I was outside their enclosure, but I couldn't film outside it because the glass was reflecting. But they were right at the glass, and it was almost like they knew there was a camera because they're like, "Hey, look at us, we're doing something."
Have you been to Monkey World as well?
No.
Oh my God! So we have an annual pass for there as well. But that's again, don't go on a hot day or don't go when it's freezing cold because you don't get anything then. But that's
where's Monkey World?
Down in Dorset.
In Wareham.
Oh, right, so it's not that near where I live then, I guess.
Oh, my goodness, you don't know.
No.
And they're a charity as well, because they rescue...
5 years.
They rescue apes and chimps and all sorts from all over the world.
Oh, wow.
It was on telly. It's called Monkey World, and Jim Cronin and Alice and his wife.
Might have to go and have a look then.
Sort of started it.
Check them out. When I've got my nephews, they'll probably like some monkeys. I used to be able to do a really good monkey impression, actually.
Are we not getting it?
Well, I was about to do it and I thought that might be just one step too far.
Not going to ask.
Because it's funny. Well, I thought it was. I think the thing is with anybody that kind of does things that they think are funny, they think it's funny, not everyone else does.
That's true as well.
And then the people that are laughing because the person's just laughing so much, not because it's funny.
Well, when we lived in Italy, Georgina decided that she would audition for the Big Brother in Italy. And her first audition, she did a monkey impression and got through to the next round. But the next one, they said, "Can you do any other animals?" And she said, "I suppose I could do a chicken." This is all in Italian. And she didn't get through. So, but she was on all the outtake bits, you know, and she was hiding for about 3 weeks because everyone kept saying,
"Was that
you on telly?" No.
That's great. I wonder what else they made her do.
No, that was about it. So she didn't get through anymore.
Oh, I did get through the first round a long time ago. Of
did you?
Wow.
Yes, yeah, but they didn't really. You didn't really need to do loads. You had to do stupid things like try and sing, and there was some.
One voice offends my ears when I sing. I can't do that.
And then you were in a group and you had to, I don't know, to jump up and down. Basically, they got you to do really silly things to see whether you would do really silly things. And then there were some controversial statements, and you had to say where you fell on that side of that argument, and try and give your reasoning. And then there was a really awful bit, actually. Please forgive me, the little lady, if it's me. But anyway, so there was this awful bit where I think there were 10 of us and we were lined up, and I got asked to rearrange the order of the people, and you had to physically move them as to who you think would be chosen to get through in order of who would go first, and put yourself in where you thought you should be.
Wow.
So at which point, it's awful. It's like that thing at school where you're going, oh, please be in my hockey team, or not be in my hockey team, and the poor person that's last knows nobody wanted them.
I just put myself at the front. Because if you're going for it, you need to go for it, don't you?
I think I went second. I don't want to be first, because there was a couple that were really amazing, and then they did take 2 of us through to the second round, which I didn't get through, but it's really interesting meeting the other people.
It's safe, isn't it?
I think I auditioned for MasterChef a while ago, quite a long time ago, when I was still living in Italy, and I got round to the first round, but not the second.
Yes.
I'm just not naughty enough. Well, I didn't say I was. I probably am, but...
But would you want everyone to know about how naughty you really are, Pam?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'd be sabotaging other people's dishes, that's for sure.
That'd be quite interesting.
No, that's just wrong. Aren't they meant to do it on their own merits, not because you've got a naughty person going around putting a bit extra salt in?
That's more fun, isn't it?
Too much sugar.
No one will see it. Because I look like I'm good, but I'm...
Right. So instead of telling you how naughty we are, I hope your New Year's resolutions are... Is it to be naughtier or to be better? Or so you have got one to be a bit naughty. But you wouldn't say that to your grandchildren.
Yeah, that's what grandmas are for.
Oh.
My kids
you
are
wind them up before you send them home, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I can just imagine.
Are they allowed to do anything at my house, pretty much?
Oh, right. Well, briefly, we are going to talk about Carrie Fisher and her mother, Debbie Reynolds. I didn't realise that Debbie Reynolds was Carrie Fisher's mother, but secondly, there's going to be a documentary coming out that I'm not sure we'll all be able to see, but I'd really like to see it. This was advertised on Yahoo News, and it's apparently on HBO, but there's a trailer of it. It looks brilliant.
Because Eddie Fisher was her dad as well.
Yes, and then of course that's a shame, because obviously I think Elizabeth Taylor ended up with him, didn't she?
Yes, I think so.
Yes, that's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
But they look like they have a really great mother-daughter relationship, and it actually looks quite funny to watch, and such a horrible...
It's quite sad in the same way.
Horrible thing, yeah, for the brothers. Obviously, the people that are left of that family, to find your family's decimated in one go. Yeah. However, I think that will, for those people that aren't affected by the sadness of that, I think that'd be something lovely to see. Yeah.
Have you watched The Crown?
No.
Amazing series, all about the British monarchy.
No, that will be one to watch at a later date. And I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. My very many thanks to today's guests, Sophie, Personne and Pam Bates. The Talk Solent returns next week at the same time. Goodbye.
We all know how it can get a bit much when stuff starts to pile up. With no space left in your wardrobe, under the bed just crammed fit to bursting, chest of drawers overflowing. Ugh. But I've changed the way I use my space with these, the Space Systems vacuum storage bags. Using them is easy. Just pack your stuff, zip up the airtight double zipper and vacuum out the air, saving up to 4 times the space. For bulky bedding, I use the high-capacity stackable cube. And for tops, fleeces and sweaters, the dual-use bag is perfect. With Space Systems, you can get up to 4 times more in spaces like this and get more space to live in places like this. Space Systems dual-use bags work with or without a vacuum. So for travel, simply roll out the air and fly carry-on only. It'll save you time and could save you money on whole baggage fees. Space Systems 4-layer construction protects from moths, moisture, mold and dirt. They're airtight and watertight, so they can be safely stored anywhere. You can pack and store up to 4 times more. And when you unpack, you'll find everything fresh and clean as the day you packed it away.
We'll send you one suitcase-sized dual-use bag, one large dual-use bag, and one high-capacity cube for only $29.95. And then to double the value, we'll double the offer and send you one more of each at no extra cost. But it gets even better. Order here and we'll triple the set to 3 of each. And finally, to complete the offer, we'll send you 3 hanging bags too, perfect for wardrobes. Each one holds up to 5 dresses or suits. So that's 12 Space Systems bags for just $29.95. Enough for up to 12 winter coats, 24 sweaters, 6 duvets, and 12 pillows, and 15 suits or dresses. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. So call or click to order now.
Coleman's. Easy does it.
Puzzle. Stains today will help them get ready for tomorrow. Personne.